departments. It is going to be an interesting session for next 2 hours. So over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Then we will start our today's topic. That is untangling property valuations, common challenges and solution. Already Kajal ma'am has given my introduction. I have worked in the state government of town planning, urban development department as an assistant director of town planning valuation for more than 30 years. I have handled more than 5,000 valuation cases actually from the income tax department, registration department, collector office, land acquisition matters, and so many types of valuation. I have handled every type of valuations, particularly for the industries. So, today this is some different topic. It is a new topic, and I think it is necessary for the valuer to update and go with the new technology. So we will, I think today we will be focusing on clarifying and simplifying the often complex world of property valuations. Why it is complex? We can say because the real estate market, just like other commodities, it is a heterogeneous market. So that means the properties are different, and you need to consider so many factors. Environmental characteristics you need to consider while valuing any type of property, whether it is from plant and machinery or land and building or security side. That means you need to handle go with movable properties as well as immovable property. And second thing, what happens in this field? Mostly, very few people are there to guide you. And so, and second thing, we face so many problems while handling these assignments with these valuation or real estate valuations. We face so many problems, but to whom these problems to be told? So that is the major difficulty in this field. So today I will try to explain in my own, with my own experience in the urban development department, valuation department, and we'll try to explain what is meant by untangling valuation in property valuations. So first, making untangling means what is untangling means, because this is totally new topic. So making complicated information in easy to understand. So many, what happens? Suppose you have like you want to make some dish, and you have a confusing recipe with a lot of steps and ingredients. So many ingredients are there, and in this situation, what happens? It is difficult to choose to which step we should follow first. So that untangling is the same here, and involves breaking it down into simple steps. In similar thing here in real estate also. And clear in this case, what happens? We will try to simplify everything. That means so many problems we are facing, and how to tackle these problems. That is requirement of today's real estate world. So without wasting time, I will straight away go for my presentation. Is my slide visible?
Yes.
So this is my brief introduction. I have huge experience in this field of valuation. I will try to explain in a practical manner, rather go in theoretical manner, because you can study it theoretically from anywhere, but you need a practical approach while handling or some assignments. Nowadays we are facing so many problems. Valuers are facing so many problems. Why it is so? I will share my practical experience in this field. This is today's topic: untangling property valuations, common challenges and solutions. This is one real estate, lavish property. And then to compare general properties and just lavish property, there is huge difference. So property valuation is a crucial aspect of real estate in any stream: land and building, plant and machinery, security side. But remember, the most difficult thing in this field is to collect the data. Major problem is with data. Second thing, other problems are also we are facing. It is often fraught with challenges due to various factors: market volatility, subjective judgments, lack of standardized model. These three terms, these words look something different and looks very simple. But this is the base for the valuations, and valuers must have the thorough knowledge about this, all these factors. These are indirect factors, though these factors do not look direct, but these are the indirect factors which matters your valuations. So remember market volatility. Market always volatile, right? Because whether it is a commodity market or real estate market, it depends on the circumstances. So in real estate markets, there might be, sometimes it might be in boom, sometimes it might be in recession. In the corona situation, what you have experienced. So this is the market volatility. Second thing, now elections are going on in India, right? People are waiting. Who will be the next? And that means which government will be there in the center. And nowadays, currently, the market is stable. People are watchful, cautious, and same thing in the real estate market here. So remember, this market is, I have explained this market volatility, and this matters because this real estate is totally dependent on this market. The second thing, subjective judgments. What this is not the objective, but it is a subjective. Many times, what happens? You cannot conclude. You just predict. Suppose you are handling some particular assignment. You cannot confirmly say that this will be the perfect value and no other person can value this property higher or lower. So that means this is subjective. Surendra sir will have some different ideas. Malika ma'am have different ideas. So everyone has some different thinking. So that's why we face so many problems. Then lack of standardization. What happens? Today we are following international valuation standards, right? So remember, there are different IBS standards. And second thing, to follow these standards, it is difficult because what is the basic problem? That means what is the untangling problem with the valuers in India, particularly? Because other countries, they are updating the data online. Their data is mostly online available. So they are not facing that much problems as we are facing today. The valuers in India are facing. So that we will discuss today, no issue. That is the standardized methodologies, though we know income approach, cost approach, market approach, everything. But what problems we face today, that we will discuss. Understanding these challenges and implementing tailored solutions for accurate and reliable valuations. Property valuations, common challenge across different types of, including limited market data. First one, whenever suppose you are using the market approach, or suppose you are using the cost approach or income approach. So it is difficult to collect the data first. Which problem we face every time? Because suppose you want to collect some particular data, you are going to value a particular property, a land, and where you will get this data then? Most of the time you need to visit the sub-registrar offices. But nowadays, this data is available on the website. But still we face the problems. What is the difficulty, that we will discuss in later on slides then. Then technological obsolescence. What happening? Because other countries, just like US or UK or Germany, these countries, they, whatever the properties, when they registered the properties, they immediately update it on the website. So, but we people have the problems. Yes, we also have the same facilities available with us. This technology is advancing day by day. Every time you need to go with this, so many, that means you will need, valuers also need to update with this technology also. And that we will discuss in our slides. I have some material, I have collected some material regarding this. What is this untangling property valuations? Refer to the process of resolving the complexities. We are facing so many. Suppose you have 7 to 8 problems with you. While suppose you got one assignment and you are facing so many problems with the valuations, then you need to resolve it. Then which should be the priority? That must be chosen by the valuer. And his experience, his knowledge, his expertise will be tested here. The goal is to develop effective strategies. What is the major issue is the goal is to develop effective strategies and methodologies to accurate and reliable valuations. Read this, then I will go ahead. Property valuations encounter challenges across various asset types. That means including land and buildings, plant and machinery, and security side. So every valuer has some different problems according to their field. Common property challenge, as we have already discussed this, but still this market data technology of the these are the some problems we are facing. But how to tackle these problems, that we will discuss in detail here. Just read this, then I will go ahead. These three methods we use. All the valuers use all these three methods. That means market approach, income approach, and cost approach. These are sub methods that. Now understanding these three approaches, first we will discuss and then we will see how to tackle the problems, which problems you face and how you can tackle these problems, that we will discuss. Three primary approaches to value when assessing a property: sales comparison, cost approach, and income approach. The first we will go with the sales comparison approach. Here what you do, you will always try to collect the data because you are going to compare the properties. In real estate, you will find the properties are always heterogeneous properties. That means you will not find both two properties identical here. So it is difficult. So that's why it is difficult to take the decisions, because you cannot say conclusively that this is the data and based on this, I am quite confident that this will be the property value and no other person can go enhance or reduce this valuation. You cannot say, because everyone has some different thinking. So he will try to utilize his own data and own comparison. So that's why this approach involves comparing the properties of similar properties. Remember, he is using these similar words. What is meant by similar? Suppose you are valuing particular property, or suppose you are handling one assignment of the factory building, which was national highway fronting. And second thing, suppose you are valuing such property, that means similar types. What will be the similarities here? You will try to collect the data on the similar type of, that means on the national highways. Otherwise, suppose you did not get the such data, then what you will do? You will look after the vicinity properties, the surrounding properties, and will try to collect and then try to compare. Second thing, major problem we face here, because suppose one the land and building property or plant and machinery property is at road fronting, and there what happens? You will it is difficult to compare the properties. Like suppose you got the machineries here, So machine, you will not find the same type of machinery there. So there, how to decide then? Then second thing, but in real estate, particularly in land and building, you can easily go for the suppose whether the building is RCC frame structure or it is load bearing structure or temporary structure, that you can decide there. But for comparison with the plant and machinery side, it is difficult to decide the, because you will not find a similar type of machinery there. Then the cost approach focuses on determine the value of the assessing cost of replacing or reproducing. That means you calculate the replacement value there. You will not require to go with the reproduction value, because most of the time you are calculating the replacement value. And that means you will require to go with the current materials rates. So this cost approach is related with the cost of the material. But in this cost approach also, you will require to go with, suppose they have asked you to value the property, and second thing, that property means what will happen? You will have to go with the land rate also there. And there you cannot decide the land rate from this cost approach. In this situation, again, you will have to turn towards the sales comparison method. Then third one, this income approach. In income approach, what happens? You try to collect the rental data or income data, just profits, or just suppose one hotel is there or some petrol pump is there. Unique properties might be there. Some star hotels might be there. So there, what happens? You will try to collect such data and then proceed with the income according to the income. By capitalizing, you can easily calculate the property value here. But what problems we face here? So that we will discuss. So read this. Factors consider in the sales comparison approach. These are some factors, and how you face the problems here to collect the data, and so many problems. Location. Most of the time, it is difficult to compare the properties. So during the sales comparison, location is also important. You will find what type of property. Location, that means whether the amenities are available there. Then similar, remember, whenever you are using some comparison method, you need to go with the similar type of properties. In this situation, location, that means whether the property is interior or on highways, that matters. We have already discussed this. Then size matters. Then condition, the condition of the property. The condition of property means how much old the building is. The condition of property both inside and outside, not only from the outside, but from the inside also. It's the duty of the valuer to go inside and the look. Suppose what happens? One of the building was totally old, almost 40 years, 45 years old. But still, how to identify that that building is 40 or 45 years old? Suppose that person has renovated the building. In this situation, the only option, what will be the valuer? How valuer can decide that? He has to collect some paper there. Then by observing, because you are a civil engineer, and suppose you are a plant and machinery valuer, what you will do? You will observe the machinery, but whether the machinery is in functioning or not, that matters here. Remember. So the condition is very, very important here. Then amenities and features, additional amenities and features such as swimming pool, fireplace, updated kitchen. These are the some model. Nowadays, the technology has updated, right? Architects, some architects might be here. They know this architectural view also matters while valuing any type of properties. Then amenities, what is meant by amenities? That means whether the property, how far the property is from the your house, the value property under valuation. That means railway station, bus stand, then airport, hospitals, schools, everything. So many amenities are there. The petrol pumps. So these factors matter. But basic problem, what happens? You suppose you got so many assignments and you cannot visit the site, and the bank or financial institute will give you some certain time limit. Sir, submit report within 4 to 5 days. Then what to do? That means what should you do then? Suppose you have visited the particular site, then again and again when you are getting assignment from that particular area, then what should be done by the valuer then? He should collect the some photographs or some restore the data so that he can easily collect the data. And suppose you have visited suppose the site was adjacent to the railway station area, then in the vicinity, which are the amenities there? So you should note down and you should record it and try to store it in your data then. I will go ahead, just read this, then I will go ahead. Market conditions, this also matters, particularly those who are from the security side, particularly chartered accountants. I think this data is easily available. When you visit the websites, you can nowadays you can easily get this data. And for the movable properties, you can easily value. This interest rate matters. Now currently the market is stable, so interest rate are also stable. But what will happen after the elections? That doesn't know. Anyone know? No one knows. But now second thing, what market conditions? These valuers will always particularly movable side valuers. That means chartered accountants. The world war situation is there. So in so many countries, particularly Ukraine, then Israel, the war situation is there, Iran, and so many parts of the world. So the real estate market or all type of commodity market, all the market has been affected nowadays. So international trade has been affected. So this market is very cautious nowadays. So be cautious about this interest rate. While suppose you are using the income approach for the particular method, and then your interest rate matter here. Capitalization rate should be decided by the valuer appropriately. Then only you can value the property accurately then or precisely. Then this cost approach, we have already discussed this, but what problems we face? Why is, because suppose you are living in Rajasthan, or suppose you are living in hilly areas, or some people might be from the plain areas. So in this situation, the material cost will not be same. Different regions have their own advantages. Particularly in hilly regions, the wooden material is available in abundant. And suppose in plain regions like Maharashtra, there you can easily go with the RCC constructions. So remember, this cost of material will be different, state-wise different, district-wise different. The in particular area, suppose steel is available in abundant or cement is available in abundant, then there will you find that the material rate will be lower as compared to the other parts of the India. So this cost approach matters when it comes to the appraising the value of property. The cost approach is one of the major method here, where because suppose you are valuing a particularly plant and machinery, you will not find the similar type of material there. So that means you need to update your knowledge and try to collect the data from where you will get the similar type of material and what type of rates are market rates are prevailing there. That should be the observation of the valuer there. And suppose you got, suppose you are generally, suppose you many times what happens, suppose you are handling one assignment with one of the industry. There you will need to go with the land and building valuation also, and some plant and machinery valuation also. And third thing, these securities valuers are there, always there, because they need to keep the record book record there, and they will update the value every year. So remember this, their audits are important, and they carry out the audits, and whether the company is in profit or loss, that you can easily decide there. Then whenever you visit such sites, suppose you are visited particularly industrial area, suppose the Chakan industrial area of the near the Pune, or and suppose you have visited, and there you can suppose you are handling some particular assignment, but there you try to collect as many as data, so that when you will handle the next assignment, at that time that will be helpful to you. So remember, and so then you can easily go with this cost approach there. Then depreciation, so many different types of methods are there to value. That means WDV method, that is followed by the chartered accountants, right? They can easily go with this method. But for the particularly civil engineers, they particularly use the civil engineers or mechanical engineers. They try to use this sinking fund method most of the time. So many different methods are there. Sinking fund method, constant percentage method, and other methods are available there. But remember, which method should be used? It depends. What type of data you have collected, what type of industry is running there, what type of building is there. And so that matters here. So how much old is the machinery, or how much old is the building? That depends. And accordingly, you will have to collect the data there and go. Depreciation, सबसे बड़ा problem depreciation में क्या होता है? Suppose he has renovated the building. तो आपको समझ में नहीं आता कि whether this building is totally new or old. So that means while considering depreciation, you need to consider some other factors also. Suppose you didn't have the exact proper evidences available. You have just observed the building and seen that the building looks like to be new and almost 5 to 10 years old. But actually it was almost 40 to 50 years old. But in this case, what will be your duty? Then try to ask the concerned person to give the tax receipt or the electricity bill or any tax receipt, other evidences. Then only you can decide the sanction building plans, completion plan. That from this you can decide the age of the building. And for the calculating depreciation, you will require to go with the age and the life of the building. You can predict the life, but what about the age of the building? You need to go with the accurate age. In this situation, if you want to calculate the precise depreciation value, then you will require the accurate age of the building then, or the plant and machinery there. These are some components of the cost approach. Land value, how you can go for the land value here? How you can decide in the land value in cost approach? I have already explained. Can anyone tell me? How you will decide the land value here? Whether you will use cost approach for land value? So remember, you cannot go, because you will have to calculate this land value by using market approach only, comparative method only. You cannot use in cost approach. You will get the material of the cost. You can calculate the value, depreciated value, or the replacement value of the building, but you cannot calculate the land value here. Then this depreciation, I think I have explained everything here. Just go through this slide, then I will proceed. Now come to this income approach. So this is very, very important, particularly for all the valuers. Remember, when it comes to appraising the value of the property by the income approach, which factor is most important here? The income. How we can get the income here? In the form of rental or some investment properties might be there. Which are the investment properties? That means hotel, petrol pumps, Mangal Karyalayas, all these factories, cinema halls, hotels and everything, shopping malls. These are some investment properties here. And in this case, how that income can be generated? But in this income approach, what is important here? You need to calculate the net operating income. That means by deducting these outgoings, you can easily calculate the net operating income here. So how the income approach works? Basically, in income approach, the rate of capitalization is very, very important factor here. So how to decide the rate of interest there? So second thing, you need to use your expertise there. You will inquire in the market and try to collect this interest rate there. All it is related with the movable value properties also and immovable properties also. Both the valuers will require to decide this rate of interest. Very, very important because your property valuation depends on this capitalization rate only. And whether the rate of interest should be on the lower side or the higher side, that should be decided by the valuer. And there, because what happens, you cannot conclusively decide this should be the rate, because it depends on the inflation and deflation, all other factors, indirect factors matters here. Particularly, suppose you are handling assignment with the one of the hotels, and in this situation, what happens? What is your intention? To earn more profit here. In this situation, you will how much is the occupancy rate, how much will the vacancy rate, that matters. Second thing, food and beverages, how costly these food and beverages are, that matters. Third thing, how much are the taxes? Government, you need to pay some taxes there, GST tax and other taxes, then property tax, and so many taxes are there. But what is your intention here? To earn more profit here. And second thing, operating expenses, you want to operate this, you want to run this hotel, then you will have to pay some salaries, permanent staff salaries there. So many outgoings are there, insurance charges you need to pay, NA tax, all these are deductibles. So to calculate the value using the income approach, you need to consider all these factors here. And when you calculate all these factors, and by deducting all the other taxes and everything, outgoings, that means you will get the net income. Now you have decided what should be the capitalization rate here. And based on this, you can easily calculate the property value here. Everyone knows, but remember what difficulty valuer face here. Major problem is because market is volatile, rate of interest also always goes on changing. So in this situation, try to keep the data for the last at least 5 years, so that you can easily judge what should be the capitalization rate here. These are some key concepts in the I have already told, but still try to read this, then I will go ahead. And second thing, risk associated with the investment. What happens? Suppose many times what happens? Your intention is different. These properties, when you are investing in this field, it will be long-term investment. You cannot sell that property overnight. So that means this is a sound investment. That means for the long term, you are investing something here. So you will need to think about the future. What is the present value? What will be the future value? So that should be decided by the valuer. How to decide then? The only data can help you here. I think I will go ahead. Okay. Now this choosing the right approach. How to choose? Because different type of data you can get from the market. Someone will say, suppose you want to value particular property, you have visited the local and carried out some local inquiry there. In this situation, what happens? What type of properties you are going to value? Then availability of comparable data, because major problem you are facing is the comparable data here. For every valuer, whether you are chartered accountants and whether you are plant and machinery valuer or land and building valuer. So remember, you are facing so many problems regarding this data. But what happens? Suppose you got the assignment, you need to submit the assignment within 7 days or 8 days or 10 days. In the process, what happens? You submit the data without collecting appropriate data. But then later on, you will face some problems. And nowadays, you might be read that so many newspaper. Reserve Bank of India has given certain instructions, ban some cooperative banks. And here, the valuers are suffering here. And nowadays, what happens? Many times, most of the banks nowadays, they are asking for the indemnity bond nowadays. And remember, that means they are fixing this responsibility on the valuers. How to tackle this problem? That means the only solution I can suggest would be to collect appropriate data, choose appropriate method of valuation, go with the appropriate valuation, and then you will not make mistake here. And then you will be confident and you can have a sound sleep at night then. Otherwise, it is difficult that if suppose you have given indemnity bond, what will happen with your personal properties then? So these problems we are facing nowadays, but how to tackle this problem? Nobody is coming forward nowadays. Other government has taken decision, some banks has taken decision. It is their decision. But why they are coming to this conclusion? Because they are facing the NPA problems. So naturally, what they think, the valuers, all the valuers are giving some higher side valuations. It is their thinking, and they also suffer there. They are suffering the huge financial loss here. And in order to save this huge financial loss, they are trying to do such things so that valuer will give appropriate report. Some only 1 or 2% valuers are doing such things. No one will try to do this intentionally. But what happens due to these 2% people, all the valuers are facing this problem nowadays. So that's why I will suggest collect appropriate data and use other particular points. Whether suppose you are plant and machinery valuer, then you should collect the plant and machinery data. Suppose you are movable site valuer, then accordingly you need to collect the data required. That means the most of the it is related with the finance. That means how is the market going on? What is the market trend? What is the current market trend? What will be the future market trend? That should be predicted by the valuer here. That is expected so that you will not make any mistake there. That is the only solution here. And suppose you are not giving that bond there for the bank, they will not give you the assignment. They will say you are not we want this, otherwise you look your work, whatever you want you can do. You So remember, they are in no need. There is huge competition nowadays everywhere, but still very few valuers are there from this IBBI. Then this purpose is also important here. Suppose you are valuing particular property and one construct building land with building was assignment you got there, and now you have collected the data. You are using the income approach, and simply what you done then, you have collected only the land data there. How to compare this? Purpose is different. You are using income approach, you are going with the market approach. That is not comparable. So that means, in order to purpose, what is the purpose here? You are going to value the property by using the rental method here. How much is the income you are getting from these rents? So that matters here. These market conditions we have already discussed. This property condition, physical condition is important, particularly for the land and building valuers and machinery valuers. Sometimes you need to handle some unique properties. Many times it happens. Unique property means there is no comparable situation. You will find only this type of property, that is the unique property. Suppose you are going to handle some 7-star hotel valuations. That will be the only property in your city. And how to compare the data then? It is difficult for the valuer to take decisions in this situation here. According to purpose also, I will again go for this. According to the purpose, what happens? Many times it had happened. Suppose you are going to value for the property, same property, for the purpose of sale. The valuation will be different there. Suppose you are going to value that same the property for the capital gain tax. There comes the CS role, then both the land and building valuer might be there, plant and machinery valuer might be there. They will use something different there because they want to, the client, what are the clients expected there? Sir, please give the valuation according to, so that I will pay less capital gain tax here. There he can, and in the sale case, what is the expectation of the client there? The seller will try to enhance his profit there. That will be the intention here, right? Suppose you are the intention is for the stamp duty purpose. तो stamp duty में क्या होता है? बहुत सारे, most of the times you will visit the sub-registrar office. There you find, suppose those you have sold the property and the property valuation was almost 2.5 crores. And now you have visited the sub-registrar office and there you got the point that only the property, the record, the guideline rate, it is showing only 1 crore valuation. And in this situation, what you do, just you will show the actual market value is 1 crore 10 lakhs. Actually, it was the sale for the 2 crore 50 lakhs. So that purpose matters here. कौन सा purpose है? Suppose you are handling the one of the valuer, he is going to handle the land acquisition matter here. There comes the role of the compensation. In this situation, what will be the intention of the valuer here? He will try to enhance, because their government, he is trying to claim the higher compensation here. So purpose is the most important factor here. Then these market conditions, property conditions, all factors must be. And second thing, I will suggest, try to store data whenever you carry out any assignment. Try to, I think, I will suggest, I have done the same thing here. Whenever I handle some particular assignment, then on the website or you should have some plan. Just mark it. From this site, I have done the valuation. So that when next time you can easily compare. Now, sometimes you need to go with some combining approaches here. right? Sometimes you need to go with the income approach combined with the cost approach, income approach with the market approach, both the approach. Then in the both methods, you will require some different data, collection of data there. And then only you can use this comprehensively use these combined methods. And here your judgment, your professional experience will be tested there. Because what happens in most of the times, you will not get the appropriate data here. You are using this method, combined method. But suppose you got the income data and you are not getting the sale data, then it is difficult to combine these methods. Now this conclusion regarding these all methods are there. I have first we will discuss this, then we will proceed with the. But these are the problems we are facing. Every valuer is facing nowadays. So most of the times, what happens to decide suppose in comparison method to collect data is the basic problem. But in the other countries like USA, UK, they are using these machine models nowadays. AI technology has been introduced. So they are trying to use. In India, it is possible. But what is the basic problem we are facing? That we will discuss in the next slides. Now this land and building, I have already explained everything, but still we will repeat some part. Market volatility, it affects the property valuation, certainly. Utilize the cost approach by estimating the replacement cost. To calculate the replacement cost, what you will require? Every year or every some more in particular situation, what happens? The rate will not remain the constant. Rate goes on changing. In this situation, what valuer should do then? क्या होता है? Suppose I will give one example. Some people might be from Maharashtra. You might have observed the Lavasa site adjacent to Pune. Earlier, so many buy the property for 1 crore, 2 crore, 5 crores. But later on, what was the situation there? Currently, no one is interested to buy that property for 25 lakhs or 50 lakhs. There is no demand at all. लेकिन जो पहले जो सेल हो चुका है 5 करोड़ 10 करोड़ से हो चुका है, that means that you got the evidences there. Then how to go lower side then? And so sometimes you may face such problems. होता है ऐसा बहुत बार. Lack of comparable sale data. इसका मतलब क्या होता है? Now earlier before 10 years or 15 years back, the property value was 5 crores. And now today, after 10 years, the property value is 25 lakhs. How to compare this property sale then? So in this situation, you need to take your own decision by writing in your report. This was the earlier situation, but currently we are facing such problems. What to do then? This is the actual position we are showing. Though it is expected that the property value must be get enhanced, but in this situation, it is going to be reverse on the reverse side. So whenever you are handling such assignments, try to write down everything in your report clearly. Try to collect the data for the try to collect the recent data. Remember, in such situation, try to collect recent data, and according to this data, you go for the valuation, so that you can justify why you are going for the decreasing this value, though the property is 15 years old, 30 years old, whatever it may be. लेकिन यहाँ पे अगर वैल्यूएशन बढ़ने की बजाय आप कम साइड पे चले जा रहे हैं. प्लांट एंड मशीनरी वैल्यूअर्स के लिए भी बहुत सारी डिफिकल्टी हो जाती है, इनके लिए भी बहुत सारी, जैसे कि आई हैव टेकन वन एग्जांपल, देन फिक्सर्स एंड चैटल्स.
But sir, I have a query on this issue. Sometimes market price is lesser than the stamp duty valuation by the government.
हाँ हाँ,
So which one we should consider while valuing that? Although I am not a land and building valuer, but for the sake of valuing, how we will value that?
Yes, I will explain them. Suppose आपका कहना है कि आपका एक्चुअल वैल्यू कम है और रेडिएटर का वैल्यूएशन ज्यादा है, ऐसे आपको कहना है?
Not only actual value, sir. Suppose you just gave an example, Lavasa. You see, Lavasa, the prices was 1 crore, 2 crore, for one each plots. Now the stamp duty is maintained at the same level, but the market price is maybe 10 lakhs today, 15 lakhs. No buyer is there in most of the cases. So how you value those property now?
How should you value? I will suggest then. Remember, there in the Registration Act 1908, there are provisions. That means Section 31 of the Registration Act, adjudication proceedings have been given there. So in this case, what happens? You need to submit. Suppose you are selling the property. I am the buyer of the property. What I will do then? I will go visit the registrar office. There, suppose he has given me the property valuation for the 5 crores. And actually, what happens? Now that the rates have been fallen, and actually I am buying this property for only 25 lakhs. Then how to prove this? So in this situation, I will go with the adjudication. I will submit my documents, all the evidences, whatever evidences with me. Based on this, I will go submit my document for the adjudication. There the government valuers are there. That means the town planners are there. I have worked on this. I have handled such more than 500 valuation cases with this adjudication, more than 1,000 valuation cases. So in this situation, you can go for the adjudication, and then the engineer will visit the site. He will see the situation. Then he will collect the last year's data. There you will find, though the documents are showing a higher side, but you can mention there, this is the current situation. So based on that, he can reduce the valuation there. But
Okay,
ये तो
that means I have to challenge the government value. That means I have to go for adjudication, challenge the stamp duty valuation.
Yes, yes. Second thing, आप अगर जो सीए लोग है यहाँ पे बहुत सारे, उनके लिए भी बताना चाहता हूँ कि आज ये प्रॉब्लम यहाँ पे नहीं रुकता है, सिर्फ स्टैम्प ड्यूटी तो दैट मैटर्स वेरी 5% 7%, ओके, दैट डजंट. लेकिन आप जो इनकम टैक्स जो पे करना है, कैपिटल गेन के बारे में अगर सोचोगे तो ये रेडिरेक्टर रेट मैटर्स देयर, राइट? तो वहां तो बहुत सारा ह्यूज डिफरेंस होता है. जैसे कि 10% से भी प्लस अगर होता है तो आपको नेचुरली यू विल हैव टू पे ह्यूज कैपिटल गेन टैक्स देयर. वहां पे तो जैसे कि 2001, तो स्टैम्प ड्यूटी का तो मैंने कुछ ऐसे केसेस हैंडल किए, और जो कुछ कब, लेकिन व्हाट हैपेंस एक्चुअली दिस प्रोसीजर इज वेरी टीडियस, जहाँ पे कोई बहुत सारे लोग एंटरटेन नहीं करते. दिस आर फैक्ट्स जो प्रैक्टिकली, आई एम प्रैक्टिकल पर्सन. जैसे कि आप सुशील जी, आप सपोज कैपिटल गेन के आप कितने अपील के केसेस देखते हो? आई एम well capital.
In capital gain case also, you can challenge the department. You can say that please appoint a valuer, and department can appoint their own valuer, and it can be revalued, and that value can be taken as fair value. Yeah.
But what happens? What is the exact problem? What problems you face there? CL, particularly for CS?
Sir, you have to manage. The only word is manage.
तो लेकिन क्या होता है, ये बहुत, यू आर सो प्रैक्टिकल हियर. तो कहने का मतलब क्या होता है कि जैसे कि बहुत सारे जिनेन केसेस होते हैं, लेकिन उनके लिए वहां कोई भी उनको खड़ा नहीं करता है. रियली दीज आर फैक्ट्स. जैसे कि आप मैं भी यह फील्ड में बहुत सारा काम किया है, बहुत सारे इनकम टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट में भी बहुत सारे, क्योंकि वो कभी जब भी प्रॉब्लम आते थे, जैसे कि लैंड बिल्डिंग के लिए या लैंड के लिए, तो इनकम टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट कॉन्फिडेंशियल से हमारे पास लेटर देता था कि भाई ये 2001 का वैल्यूएशन, 1981 का वैल्यूएशन, क्योंकि बाकी से लोगों को तो इसका नॉलेज नहीं रहता है ना, कि उनके पास वो रेट अवेलेबल भी नहीं रहते हैं। सेकंड
सही
थिंग,
बात है।
तो जो जोनिंग है वो भी उनको मालूम नहीं रहता है। तो लेकिन वो जो पर्टिकुलर पर्सन है जो कि उसको अननेसेसरी उसकी प्रॉपर्टी की वैल्यूएशन 50 लाख है, और वहां पे वो 25 लाख कैपिटल गेन पे कर रहा है, क्योंकि वहां पे जो गवर्नमेंट का जो वैल्यूएशन बता रहा है बहुत हाई पे बता रहा है। वो
यस।
जिनान केस रहते हुए भी वो फाइट नहीं कर सकता है। क्यों नहीं कर सकता है? कि वो उसको अपील में जाने क्या होता है एक्चुअली। भाई प्रैक्टिकली कुछ डिफिकल्ट डिस्कस करना चाहता हूँ, ये सीए के लिए भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, और मैं खुद लैंड एंड बिल्डिंग वैल्यूअर हूँ, तो मैं वो एक्चुअली मैंने ये देखा है सिचुएशन। तो बहुत सारे सर बहुत सा एक बिल्डर थे, तो सर मेरा प्रॉब्लम ये नहीं है, मैं स्टैम्प ड्यूटी 5% 7% पे करता हूँ, लेकिन मुझे वो 30 लाख कैपिटल गेन पे करने को बोल रहे हैं, उनका नोटिस है मेरे पास, तो मुझे आप ही रास्ता बताइए। वो मेरे पास लेके आए, सर ये आपके गवर्नमेंट का वैल्यूएशन बहुत सारा ज्यादा है, और मेरा एक्चुअल में वैल्यूएशन बहुत कम है, इसमें से के जो दो डिफरेंस है, देर इज ह्यूज डिफरेंस, तो मैं क्या करूं? मैं जो अगर प्रॉपर्टी 50 लाख में बेच रहा हूँ, 30 लाख में टैक्स पे करूँ, तो मैं क्या करूं? तो ये सारी
रियल
बहुत सारी
प्रैक्टिकल प्रॉब्लम।
तो नहीं, लेकिन इसके लिए जो प्रोविजन मैंने जो पता है, जैसे कि मैंने एडजुडिशन आप बहुत इजीली बोल दिया मैंने कि आप ये कर सकते हो, लेकिन जैसे ही उसके लिए भी बहुत सारे इतने रूल लगा के रखे कि यहाँ पे चले जाओ, नो वन विल रिस्क, द ऑफिसर आल्सो कैन टेक रिस्क। वो बोलता कि नहीं भाई, मैं पहले 5 करोड़ में बेचा है प्रॉपर्टी, मैं अभी कम कर दूंगा तो मैं प्रॉब्लम में आ जाऊंगा। तो ये भी बहुत सारे प्रॉब्लम हो जाते हैं। सेकंड थिंग, कैपिटल गेन वालों के लिए बताना चाहता हूँ। अभी जैसे कि सुशील जी ने बताया, वेरी प्रैक्टिकल एग्जांपल दैट नीड टू बी डिस्कस हियर। तो अभी जैसे कि आप, जैसे आपने सजेस्ट किया कि मैं अपील में जा सकता हूँ, बराबर है। सपोज एक प्रॉपर्टी की कीमत 5 करोड़ थी एक्चुअल में, और जो स्टैम्प ड्यूटी वैल्यूएशन जो है वो उसका 15 करोड़ निकल गया। ऑलमोस्ट यहाँ पे 10 करोड़ का वैल्यूएशन है, इसका मतलब कैपिटल गेन तो हाई होने वाला है यहाँ पे। तो ये सिचुएशन में सामने वाला क्या बोला कि भाई रजिस्ट्री के लिए पैसे पे कर दिया था, एग्रीमेंट हो गया था, जाके रजिस्ट्री करा लिया। अभी आपने क्या किया? इसका मतलब है यू हैव एक्सेप्टेड द 15 करोड़। अगर आप अपील में चले जाते हो तो इनकम टैक्स ऑफिसर, जो भी उनके जो इनकम टैक्स ऑफिसर बोलते हैं, सर यू हैव एक्सेप्टेड दिस, दैट मीन्स एक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी वैल्यूएशन वाज 15 करोड़, लेकिन एक्चुअल में आपने कितना, आपका वैल्यूएशन था आपका 5 करोड़ ही था। तो उससे क्या होता है कि जैसे कि एडजुडिकेशन करने का बेनिफिट क्या होता है कि अगर वो 15 करोड़ का वैल्यूएशन एक्चुअल में अगर वो 6 करोड़ के आसपास आता है, या 5 करोड़ 50 लाख के आता है, तो ऑलमोस्ट 10-15% के डिफरेंस में तो आपको कैपिटल गेन ज्यादा पे नहीं करना पड़ता है। लेकिन आपने क्या किया? एग्रीमेंट किया था, सेल डीड किया, कर दिया, तो 15 करोड़ का वैल्यूएशन एक्सेप्ट कर दिया, तो वो भी आपको एंटरटेन नहीं करते। तो ये बहुत सारी डिफिकल्टीज है। और लेकिन आप अगर अपील में चले जाओगे तो इनकम टैक्स ऑफिसर बोलता भाई सबमिट कर दो ये डॉक्यूमेंट्स, ये चाहिए मुझे, गिव मी द एविडेंसेस। तो एविडेंसेस लाने के लिए ये बहुत सारी डिफिकल्टी। मैं आज भी बोलता हूँ कि बहुत सारे लोगों ने ये एविडेंसेस के लिए, सब लोगों ने जो भी वैल्यूअर दोज आर प्रैक्टिसिंग, आई विल सजेस्ट डाटा तो बिल्कुल 100% अवेलेबल है, बिकॉज व्हेन आई हैव प्रिपेयर दिस रेडी रेक्टर, जब भी सेल कहीं भी विलेज एरिया में भी रजिस्टर्ड होता था तो मेरे ऑफिस में उसकी एंट्री तुरंत 1 मिनट में आ जाती थी। इसका मतलब है कि डेटा इज अवेलेबल ऑनलाइन। जो भी मूवेबल प्रॉपर्टी वैल्यूअर है या ई मोबाइल वाले वैल्यूअर है, तो उनके लिए ये डेटा बहुत जरूरी है, लेकिन प्राइवेट वैल्यूअर के लिए ये डेटा लेना बहुत मुश्किल हो गया है। जैसे कि सपोज एक आप मुंबई में रहते हो पर्टिकुलरली, और मुंबई के पर्टिकुलर पर्टिकुलर एरिया की प्रॉपर्टीज, बहुत सारे प्रॉपर्टी के जो भी सेल हो गए, उनके पास तो डेटा गवर्नमेंट के पास अवेलेबल है। आपके पास वो असाइनमेंट आ गया, आप जैसे ही वो चूज करने को लगोगे तो फिर आपके पास वो पर्टिकुलर के लिए उसमें बुक में कुछ अलग नंबर दिया जाता है, आपके पास कुछ अलग रहता है। हाउ टू फाइंड दिस डेटा देन? तो इसीलिए ये जो डेटा, अगर आप लोग गवर्नमेंट को जो अगर रिक्वेस्ट करते कि सर, those who are registered valuers provide this data free of cost to them, otherwise pay the nominal fees। तो ये सबसे बड़ी, सबसे जरूरी है। जैसे कि आज जो बैंक वाला जो बोलता है कि भाई अगर कुछ हो जाए तो आपकी प्रॉपर्टी जब्त किए जाए, तो फिर हमको डेटा दो भाई, ये हम प्रॉपर वैल्यूएशन दे देंगे। तो दिस इज द प्रैक्टिकल सॉल्यूशन आई एम सजेस्टिंग फॉर एवरीवन। वेरी गुड पॉइंट सर, देन वी विल प्रोसीड।
थैंक यू।
लैंड एंड बिल्डिंग वालों के लिए यही है, प्लांट एंड मशीनरी वालों के लिए भी यही प्रॉब्लम वो लोग फेस करते हैं। सिमिलरली when I was handling one two matters, like the Skoda valuation I have done, in this situation, I was facing the problem with the movable property valuations. What happens? They have given some different figures. Some CS report, they didn't attach the CS report, and they have mentioned so many movable properties there. And I was not the expert there regarding this movable properties valuation. Also not the expert about the plant and machinery valuations there. So I was facing problem. I have done the valuation with the land and building and land and building and land value. But I was facing the problem. I have insisted them, but they were pressurizing me. They said, no, you can give. We have mentioned this figure. Then I have insisted them to collect the data from your chartered accountants, submit it. I will not look this. That is his responsibility. So ये बहुत सा बार क्या हो जाता है कि ऐसे जो कंबाइंड प्रॉपर्टी के लिए इग्नोर करते हैं लोग, तो इट शुड नॉट बी इग्नोर्ड देयर. तो वहां पे जिसका रोल है उसके लिए उन्होंने वो वैल्यूएशन देना एक्सपेक्टेड है. So these are problems, practical problems, difficulties here. या प्लांट एंड मशीनरी के लिए सेम है. प्लांट एंड मशीनरी क्या होता है? What happened? I was handling one factory building valuation. There I got land. I have done the land and building valuation. What about the plant and machinery valuation? One of the land and building valuer was there. He said, "Sir, I have discussed with the CA and I have visited the site and I am submitting this plant and machinery valuation." How it is possible? He should not do these valuations because he is not supposed to do. He is not a registered valuator for this site. He has submitted the report, stamp it. I have taken the objection. Then later on, he has changed this. So remember, such problems valuers are facing nowadays. Then plant and machinery. This specialized machinery, I have already told. तो similar type of machinery आपके पास available नहीं है. तो how to go? These security sites, you need to update every day. Nowadays, this market is totally volatile. शेयर मार्केट हो या म्यूचुअल फंड का मार्केट हो या इंडस्ट्रियल, जो भी कंपनीज बहुत सारे है, इतना सारा अपडेट करने के लिए आपके पास जो अपना रेगुलर वर्क करने के बाद भी आपको अपडेट करते ही बैठना पड़ता है. अदरवाइज यू विल मेक मिस्टेक. सो मेनी रिपोर्ट यू आर सबमिटिंग, बट व्हाट हैपेंस? क्या होता है कि बहुत बार आप 101 असाइनमेंट सपोज यू आर सबमिटेड, 100 असाइनमेंट यू आर सबमिटेड with the income tax department or some banks or any financial institutions, सबमिट करते हो, लेकिन जब ऑडिट होता है तो क्या होता है कि आपके पास का डेटा अगर इम्प्रॉपर है, तो these problems have been happened in the so many cooperative banks, so many problems now these valuers are facing, so many CAs, their registration has been cancelled, some CAs are in jail nowadays, particularly I'm talking about from Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, one of the bank, there were so many irregularities from the Nagar bank. So many irregularities were there. These CAs are facing problem nowadays. Due to this, what they did done there? दो कोई लीडर लोगों की बैंक थी, उन्होंने उनके फेवर में रिपोर्ट दे दिए, लेकिन क्या है, लेकिन जब आज जो ऑडिट हो रहा है, तो जो जैसे कि सपोज सुशील भाई इज ऑडिटर नाउ, वो बोलेगा कि भाई मैं उसके लिए आई विल नॉट टेक रिस्क. You are not submitted the proper document without giving anything, any evidences. You are giving your report. आपको क्या लग रहा है कि मैंने रिपोर्ट दे दिया, मेरा स्टैम्प हो गया, दैट्स ऑल. लेकिन नहीं है. जब ये चीज कब होती है? जब ऑडिट होता है तो, और वहां पे आपका पूरा निकल जाता है. उनका 10 साल का रिकॉर्ड चेक किया, उसके बाद बोले कि आपके शो योर वायलेशन रिपोर्ट्स. उनके पास रिपोर्ट ही नहीं थे, तो क्या करेंगे ये लोग? वैल्यूएशन तो बहुत हायर साइड भी दे दी, क्योंकि वहां पे मूवेबल प्रॉपर्टीज के वैल्यूएशन थे, ई मूवेबल के प्रॉपर्टी वैल्यूएशन थे, which I can not say confirmly, but what I have heard that I can say. अगर if you are movable property valuer, you cannot go for the land and building valuation there. You collect the rate valuation from that particular person, registered person, and then attach it as a part if the combined valuation you are doing. अगर आपने ही वो रिपोर्ट सबमिट कर दिया था, यू आर मेकिंग मिस्टेक देयर. ये अभी कुछ होता नहीं है, बैंक का ऑब्जेक्शन भी होता नहीं है, 1000 केसेस चल रहे हैं. जब कुछ प्रॉब्लम बैंक फेस करती है, जब ऑडिट होता है, तो जैसे भी पहले गवर्नमेंट क्या बोलती है, सब आप वैल्यूअर्स अपॉइंट कर दीजिए, जो पर्टिकुलर स्कीम से ही वैल्यूएशन उनको चाहिए. और आपने तो आपको जो विदाउट हैविंग नॉलेज, यू आर सबमिटिंग द प्लांट एंड मशीनरी वैल्यूएशन, यू आर सबमिटिंग द लैंड एंड बिल्डिंग वैल्यूएशन. वहां पे आप बहुत सारे प्रॉब्लम वहां पे आप लोग फेस कर सकते हो. तो रिमेंबर दिस डिफिकल्टी, आई विल सजेस्ट गो विद द रूल्स नाउडेज. इट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट. और सेकंड थिंग क्या होता है कि बहुत सारे जैसे कि सीए लोग प्रैक्टिस करते रहे, बहुत सारे लैंड एंड बिल्डिंग के वैल्यूअर है, एक दूसरे के जो उनकी थोड़ा कंपटीशन भी ज्यादा चलती है, तो अपने बहुत सारे नजदीकी रहते वही बता देते सर ही इज डूइंग समथिंग रॉन्ग. और आपको कभी कभी पूछता है तो अरे मैंने ऐसा किया था, तो मेरे पास कुछ डेटा नहीं मिल रहा था, तो मैंने ऐसा रिपोर्ट सबमिट कर दिया. तो रिमेंबर, तो जो भी आपको अच्छा करेक्ट लगता है वही डेटा कलेक्ट करने की. This example I have taken from the site only. I am not the expert about this, but still regarding this topic is related with the valuations. So please mute Mr. Akhil ji, शायद. Please mute. Some nowadays what happens? We are using the foreign technology also. That means it is possible to go with this DCF method. That means you can decide the rate of return, or you can use these methods nowadays. If you get the appropriate data, then only you can proceed. Otherwise, it is difficult. These methods are good. And second thing, it can predict for the future. If you have the appropriate data, then it can predict the future values also. This finance, security sides, these valuers face these problems nowadays. You need to update with the stocks, bonds, real estate. All the factors are related with this value, because CA records all the things in their books of records. He required the coordinate. He must be in coordination with the plant and machinery valuer, also with the land and building. Most of the times, mixed property you are will be experiencing. So that means all these faculties are interrelated with each other. So CA तो land and building का expert नहीं होता है. He will try to collect the data valuation from the land and building valuation. Suppose if machinery is there, तो combined में उसका report CA ही submit करेगा. अगर income tax department का कुछ notice है, तो उसका report तो combined में अगर CA submit करता है, from the client side, CA will handle the matter. So in this situation, he should collect the report from the appropriate person only, so that he will not make mistake, or he need not take the responsibility there. अगर कुछ हो जाता है, fraud matter चलते हैं, तो वहां पे rule applicable होते, तब तक चलते हैं. Thousands of matter are going on. चल रहा है, ठीक है भाई, लेकिन जब audit होता है तो वहां पे rule लगता है. This is the solution here for the market volatility. Utilize sophisticated data analytics and predictive modeling techniques. Now you can use this modern technology. Yes, you can. But what is the basic problem we are facing here? Who is talking? Please mute. So now utilize sophisticated data analytics. Yes, we can use this method, but in India, a basic problem is that the data is not updated on the sites. If the valuers are getting this data, then you can easily go with all these methods. Remember, nowadays in foreign countries, who are the valuers there? Many valuers from India are there. They are practicing there. If they can do, then why we can't do? But they are not facing such problems because they get the online data easily. Whenever particularly in real estate or some movable property or whether immovable property, the data is available on the sites. So he can easily utilize that data. But it is not possible in India. But what I am saying, this data is available with most of the government departments. But it is used only by the government officer. I have used this. I have prepared this redirector for the 8 districts, for the entire Marathwada region. That means guideline rates. There I was getting entire data from all the 96 sub-registers. But now I'm facing now I am retired and I'm practicing as a valuer. Then how to get this data? I know almost 80 to 1 lakh sales were there from all the districts, more than that. So, but now how, suppose I want to value a particular property from the Thane region. There, the data is available with the government. So बहुत सारे सेल जहां भी जितने भी लास्ट 3 years में सेल हो गए उसका बहुत सारा डेटा वहां पे उनके पास अवेलेबल है. लेकिन मैं पर्टिकुलर वो साइट का डेटा अगर लेना चाहता हूँ तो मुझे एक साइट के लिए यस डेटा इज अवेलेबल ऑन देयर साइट आल्सो. लेकिन पर्टिकुलर साइट के लिए जाना है तो वो अगर नंबर में कुछ थोड़ा सा भी फॉल्ट है तो यू कैन नॉट गो. तो रैंडमली सपोज व्हाट इज द बेसिक प्रॉब्लम व्हाट प्रॉब्लम यू विल फेस देयर. लैंड एंड बिल्डिंग वैल्यूअर के लिए वही प्रॉब्लम है, सीए के लिए भी वही प्रॉब्लम है और लैंड एंड में, क्योंकि सपोज मेरे पास जो डाटा है वो सर्वे नंबर 57 से है और गवर्नमेंट के वैल्यूएशन गाइडलाइन रेट में उसका वो इंस्टेड ऑफ सर्वे नंबर दे आर सेइंग दिस इज अ गट नंबर. दैट मीन्स दिस गट नंबर इज डिफरेंट एंड सर्वे नंबर इज डिफरेंट. So remember, in this situation, you cannot value that property. You are again and again searching the survey number 57, but it is showing the valuation for the gut number. How you will proceed there? So remember all this data problems. If you able to solve these data problems, then you will not make mistake. आज भी बहुत सारे वैल्यू सबमिट करते हैं रिपोर्ट जजमेंट से या कुछ पास एक्सपीरियंस से या सेफ से चल रहा है, चलो भाई सबमिट करते हैं. लेकिन यू विल फेस दिस डिफिकल्टी व्हेन others will take your audit. In this situation, you will face so many problems. Then subjectivity in valuation methods. Different valuation. You want to say something? Someone is disturbing. Who is there? Please mute. Subjective valuation, different valuation methods you are using. Sales comparison, income approach, cost approach. It depends. According to the purpose of the valuation, you need to choose. Second thing, you need to go with the, suppose you got the particular data there. And according to this data only, you will need to choose the particular method. From the every stream, there are most of the valuers use all these 3 approaches only. Lack of data accuracy and transparency. Transparency already Mr. Sushil Kumar has already told. What? So this transparency is very, very important. We know we have the power. Suppose you are not getting, you have submitted your document for the adjudication. How much time? The government has fixed certain time, but still they will ask you to submit this document, this document. In the process, you will lose the time. You have made the agreement. You have paid in advance. You have paid certain amount. You will say, sir, I will pay a higher amount, but I want this property. So remember, these challenges we face many times. Transparency must be there. And if you have the data, appropriate data, and then that means it is a transparent data. And if you can suppose 50% data has uploaded and 50% data you are not familiar with, and you are going with the valuation, there are chances that you are making some mistake there. Then regulatory compliance and legal risk. These legal risks everywhere you will find. Yes. What happens? Some properties, suppose you are going to value particular property and you got the assignment, and you have seen that, you have observed that on 712 extract, it is showing area almost 2 acre of land. Now suppose you have visited the site, and there you find someone has trespassed there, and now you got the property, only 1 acre land is remaining, and other 1 acre land has been trespassed. Then dispute might be there going there. In this situation, it is difficult for the valuer to how much area he should consider. The client will say, sir, this is my document. I have given the document of 2 acres. I am going to take the loan from the particular financial bank or institute. In this situation, they are ready to give me the loan. Just you submit your report. Suppose you have hide the trespassing, and you have shown the 2 acres land. There are chances that the other person will go to the court and will say something, sir, they are doing something wrong. The decision is still in the court, and he is submitting the report for the 2 acres instead of submitting the report for the 1 acre. So remember these regulatory problems, legal problems you may face. Second thing, this regulatory compliances. What happens? Many times government change the decisions. Financial budget, when government finance budget has been taken place, government has taken some different decisions, and you are following the old practices. Second thing, suppose most of the government department, they modify their rules, they publish in the local newspapers, but you are not familiar with these rules. And then there are chances that you will make mistake there. So you must update these regulatory compliances also. So particularly for the civil engineers, I can suggest these unified development control rules. Every state has some different development control rules. You need to update these development control rules. What happens? Because your FSI matter there, floor space index. Suppose you got higher FSI there, you can easily go for the high-rise building there. So that means, and then indirectly the property valuations matter there. So remember all these things. Then this, what are the problems we are facing? We have already discussed, but still we will discuss. And most important is as far as time consuming. That is the most important factor here. We will discuss it in the practical manner. Suppose this reliance on manual process. सब प्रॉब्लम, सब वैल्यूअर के लिए ये प्रॉब्लम है, सबके लिए. Traditional valuation method, yes, you are using these methods. Suppose you got particular assignment, and in this situation, suppose you are using this comparable method. Again, you are visiting what you have done. Whatever data you are available, you are on that basis you have submitted your report. But later on, you came to know that so many higher sales were available, and you are going to the lower side. So that will be not the appropriate valuation there. Suppose some lower side valuation were available, and instead of that, you are submitting your report to the too much high valuations. In this situation also, you will face some problem. That means valuer should be alert while collecting this data. You are using, yes, you have used the appropriate method. That is no objection for this. Then limited data sources. I am always suggesting that this data is the only base for the valuation. Then time consuming. Suppose just like the example we have discussed already, earlier example. You have the right to go for the adjudication, for the appeal. Suppose you are CA valuers, you have submitted the appeal. So there you will find the authorities will take too much time. Then client will suggest, client will insist you, sir, what are you doing? I have paid the fees to you. So these problems we face because this authority, if they are taking too much time, what you can do there? Traditional valuation methods can be time consuming, require data collection, analysis and manual calculations. Manual calculation भी आपको करना पड़ता है. फिर भी आपने अगर ये कर लिया है, तो ये second point I am explaining. That means time consuming is, you suppose you want some justice for the particular valuation there. So in this case also, that is also the time consuming process is there. Less dynamic. Now come to this, now these new technologies are developing. We must update, and I am also trying to study this because this is the necessity, current necessity. So accuracy and what are the benefit of this innovative approaches? But remember, still we are in the primary stage, but other countries are doing valuation by using these methods. So some advantages are there. By innovative approaches to property valuations are essential in today's dynamic real estate market for several reasons, so many reasons. You can easily predict present value as well as future value or the past value. Sometimes you are handling some court matters with the old property valuations. In this situation, what you will need? The old record. So remember, these innovative approaches can easily predict here. From the current data, it can be predictable, but manually it is difficult. So most advantageous thing in this innovative approaches is the accuracy and precision. Accuracy तो रहता है, लेकिन when if you get the appropriate data, then and then only. Otherwise, don't go for these innovative approaches. Go with our old versions. Efficiency. Okay. Efficiency. Traditional valuation methods can be time consuming, but जो भी new methods है, new approaches है, वो तो आपको within 1 minute, 2 minute आपको उसका जो भी data है, suppose you ask the data for the particular last 3 years data, then it will provide you data within seconds, within 2 or 3 minutes. You can get the huge data. It is difficult to, suppose you got some sales data, you have collected some sales data, but manually it is difficult to analyze this data. You can give certain factors, you can suggest these are some factors, analyze this. The machine will automate. The AI technology is very advanced nowadays. You can easily work out and easily analyze the data here. That means your efficiency will naturally enhance here. But same thing, but I will suggest, not suggest, but in particularly this security side or chartered accountants, they can try, this data is available for these persons because most of the sites, they are providing good data, online data regarding these financial matters. So they can utilize, they can store, but remember whether the sites are authentic or not, that matters. Then risk management, inaccuracy of property valuations. जैसे कि अगर appropriate data आपके पास है, तो you will not make any mistake there. तो मशीन तो बिल्कुल उसको कोई दिमाग नहीं है, वो सिर्फ जैसे आप सजेस्ट करते हो, जो आप सजेस्ट करते हो, अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट यू विल रीच. उसको सिर्फ एक ही समझता है, दिस मेथड है, ये मेथड के लिए इनकम अप्रोच यूज कर रहे हो, रेंटल का डेटा अवेलेबल है, इसके लिए अगर ये रेंट लास्ट ईयर का ये डेटा है, तो वो इसका रिजल्ट ऑटोमेटिक दे देता है. सपोज यू आर आस्किंग, आप यू गॉट द डेटा फॉर द लास्ट ईयर, प्रिडिक्ट द फ्यूचर 3 years figures. It will predict. Due to this, machine has the you have given some certain guidelines to the machine and suggested that I was the future value. So just rough idea you can get there. But there is risk. Remember why it is said risk, because inappropriate data is the only risk here. But being I am also registered valuer. So many valuers are there. I will suggest, request government to provide free of cost all types of data for the valuer or with some nominal fees. Certainly data is available online, all part of the India nowadays. Adaptability, real estate markets constantly evolving. Yes, आज जो रियल एस्टेट मार्केट है वो 2 महीने के बाद वही रहेगा, नो गारंटी। अभी जैसे कि इलेक्शन होने के बाद जैसे ही देखते हैं गवर्नमेंट अगर मेजोरिटी में है तो नेचुरली रियल एस्टेट मार्केट विल बी इन बूम देन, और ऑल द अदर मैटर्स, शेयर मार्केट विल आल्सो इन बूम। आज भी आज देखते हो तो लोगों ने क्या किया है, बहुत सारे जो लोग हैं जो प्रिडिक्ट करते हैं कि भाई ये गवर्नमेंट आने वाली है, तो अभी आज जो शेयर मार्केट का जो ये है 75,000 वाला है वो ऑलमोस्ट 95,000 विद इन 1 और 2 मंथ्स इट कैन रीच। ये प्रिडिक्शन रहता है और वैल्यूअर को भी प्रिडिक्शन करना पड़ता है, लेकिन बेस्ड ऑन सम कंक्लूसिव प्रूफ्स ओनली। ऐसे डायरेक्ट कुछ भी करना ऐसा थोड़ा सा गलत हो जाता है, लेकिन प्रिडिक्शन भी करना, लेकिन जो भी डोंट टेक रिस्क विदाउट एनी कंक्लूसिव प्रूफ्स। Competitive advantage, companies that embrace innovative valuation gain or competitive edge by offering clients more sophisticated. अगर आप appropriate accurate results देते हो तो the company has the advantage. They can decide whether the company is in profit or loss. They can decide based on these figures. Sometimes it is not necessary that the property, the valuation you are going to carry out the valuation for the sale purpose only. Company wants to take review for their personal profit and loss. In this situation, all the three valuers roles will be there. Overall, innovative approaches to property valuations are vital for now. This is the technology. और आज आप अगर अपडेट नहीं रहते हो तो you will back. Other countries have started this, but we are at the primary stage. But start studying this so that you will be updated. न्यू टेक्नोलॉजी से अभी वैल्यूअर्स क्या डिफिकल्टी फेस करते हैं, दैट इज डिस्कस्ड हियर. Regulatory and compliance challenges. Commercial property in Mumbai may struggle with the frequent changes, zoning laws and environmental regulations. तो सपोज क्या होता है, बहुत सारे रेगुलेटरी कंप्लायंस एंड चैलेंजेस, तो वेबसाइट पे कुछ डेटा पब्लिश है, लेकिन जो बहुत सारे डिपार्टमेंट का इन्वॉल्वमेंट यहाँ पे रहता है. So many departments you need to handle. Environmental department is different, urban development department is different, revenue department is different. All these departments are they do not have the coordination in between them. But we people need to update with all these departments. Suppose environmental department, you need to take the clearance. Suppose you want to establish one industry there on your own plot, and big plot is there, or suppose you want to go for the one big town planning scheme, the big project, real estate project. In this situation, if you cross certain limit, you need to take the environmental clearance. In this situation, you will face some problem here, right? Remember, you need to take the NOC. For that NOC, you will require to submit so many papers. So these are some regulatory employees. Suppose they have changed certain rules. They have asked you to, suppose if the area of the plant exceeds 5 acres or so, you must take the environmental clearance certificate. And suppose your area, you are developing the industry in the 8 acres and you are not taking the NOC or anything. Now you might have observed so many fires are taking place nowadays. So many people are suffering due to this. What happens? They are just, government authorities are giving permissions, they are not following the rules and regulations. और आज जो भी एक्सीडेंट होते हैं उसमें कौन सफर होता है? जो भी अथॉरिटीज है जिसने एनओसी दिया वो तो सफर हो सकता है, नहीं तो ओनर तो जेल में गए ही है. अभी देखे हैं, जैसे आज ही कल गुजरात में हो गया था, मुंबई में ब्लास्ट हो गया था फैक्ट्री में. आज दिस ओनर दे आर सफरिंग. तो वहां पे जो प्रिकॉशनरी मेजर वहां पे लेना चाहिए थे, दे आर नॉट टेकिंग। कंप्लायंस में वही आता है, कंप्लायंस अगर वो करते हैं एनओसी के बारे में तो यू विल नॉट फेस एनी प्रॉब्लम हियर। inadequate market data that we have already discussed, टेक्नोलॉजिकल इंटीग्रेशन ये तो हो रहा है, अपने पास भी टेक्नोलॉजी एडवांस है। We people are so many engineers working in foreign countries nowadays. These are the Indians. They are developing these technologies, AI technology. So many people, they are working in America, US, UK, Germany. Then why, if you have the knowledge, we can also take the advantage of this new technology here. जैसे लेकिन सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम जो सुशील भाई ने बताया था वो उसका सॉल्यूशन निकलना बहुत जरूरी है उसका सभी, क्योंकि यू नीड टू चेंज योर मेंटेलिटी, देन ओनली इट इज पॉसिबल। लैक ऑफ स्टैंडर्डाइजेशन, बहुत बार हर एक म्यूनिसिपालिटी है, उनके रूल्स अलग है, टैक्सेस के रूल अलग है, जीएसटी के रूल अलग है, एक्साइज डिपार्टमेंट कुछ और बोलता है, स्टैम्प ड्यूटी डिपार्टमेंट उनके रूल अलग है, इनकम टैक्स वाला बोलता है कि भाई कैपिटल गेन टैक्स पेड कर दो, ये हमारे रूल्स है। आपका प्रॉपर्टी का आप बोलते हो कि नहीं मेरा प्रॉपर्टी थी मैंने इतने में बेचा नहीं सर, लेकिन वो कुछ मालूम नहीं, वो जो है वो हमारे जो रूल्स है, दीज आर द रूल्स, यू नीड टू फॉलो दीज रूल्स। सो दिस लैक ऑफ स्टैंडर्डाइजेशन इज द मेजर प्रॉब्लम वी आर फेसिंग। रूल्स भी चेंज होते रहते हैं, जोनिंग भी चेंज होते रहते हैं, जैसे कि सपोज डेवलपमेंट प्लान्स आर देयर, तो उनका जोनिंग भी चेंज होते जाता है, येलो जोन, ग्रीन जोन, एग्रीकल्चर जोन, इंडस्ट्रियल जोन, सो मेनी जोन। अगर जोन चेंज हो जाता है, योर वैल्यूएशन विल चेंज देयर। सो लैक ऑफ स्टैंडर्डाइजेशन दिस मैटर्स। कुछ रूल्स चेंज हो जाते हैं तो उससे भी बहुत सारा फर्क होता है। This is the dynamic market, you everyone know. Urban sector is growing fast, particularly in Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad, Kolkata, Mumbai. So this is the market is dynamic, and real estate market is dynamic nowadays. So you need to update with the rates, particular rates. What are the prevailing rates going on in the market? You should be familiar with this. Expertise and training deficiencies. This is the major problem we are facing. What happens? We are experts. No, of course, we are practicing for more than 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25 years, so many years. But still, technology is advancing and we are not updated. We are not updating our knowledge with this new technology. So what happens? This problem we are facing. Valuers often need specialized knowledge. अगर आप जैसे कि मशीन लर्निंग है, एआई का नॉलेज है, वो आजकल नहीं रखते हो, तो यू विल फेस सम प्रॉब्लम्स इन फ्यूचर नाउडेज विदाउट एडिकेट ट्रेनिंग एंड एक्सपर्ट। अगर वो आप तो वैसे तो घर पे तो नहीं सीख सकते ये, यू नीड टू गो सब, यू नीड सम ट्रेनिंग्स देयर। सो देयर शुड बी सम इंस्टीट्यूट्स लाइक दिस सो दैट दे कैन प्रोवाइड such trainings regarding this AI technology valuations. Valuing intangible assets, that is also many times. So securities valuers, they face such problems here. Impact of environmental, social, and government factors. This I have already told. You need to take NOCs from this environment for the environmental clearance. There you will find so many difficulties. Read this, then I will proceed. Litigations and disputes. So many disputes are there. Nowadays, you will find so many property matters. They are in disputes. अगर डिस्प्यूटेड प्रॉपर्टी का वैल्यूएशन भी करना है तो बहुत सारे प्रॉब्लम आपको फेस करने पड़ते हैं। complex landscape, regulatory technological changes, everyone that we have discussed. आप जो भी फैकल्टी से हो, आपके लिए अपडेट होना बहुत ही जरूरी हो गया है अभी. Impact of external factors, it also matters, that we have already discussed. Environmental regulations that we have discussed. लेकिन second वाला भी बहुत important है, it also matters. Geopolitical events and natural disasters. Natural disasters सबको मालूम है, लेकिन ये वाला जो geopolitical events, ये वाला सबसे बड़ा problem है. We are border facing with the Pakistan, China. So many countries are adjacent to us, and we are facing these geopolitical events that we will discuss here. Environmental regulations I have already told. These CRZ rules and everything you need to follow. That means coastal regulatory zones. CRZ has some different rules, remember. Coastal regulatory zones. लेकिन आजकल गवर्नमेंट का भी कुछ अलग प्रपोजल है वहां पे. I don't know whether they have modified the rules. These environmental aspects, we have discussed this. You need to take the permission from the NOC from the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Challenge, that is MOEFCC. उनसे आपको क्लाइमेट चेंज जो है, तो उनसे एनओसी ले बगैर कुछ बड़े प्रोजेक्ट यू कैन नॉट डेवलप. इंडस्ट्रियल प्रोजेक्ट हो या रेसिडेंशियल प्रोजेक्ट हो, तो इसके लिए आपको यहाँ पे एनओसी लेना ही पड़ता है. इट इज मैंडेटरी, बट फॉर द ओनली फॉर द बिफोर कमेंसिंग लार्ज स्केल इन रियल एस्टेट. छोटे प्रोजेक्ट के लिए नहीं. I have given 2-3 development permissions. In this case, we have insisted them to submit the NOC from this department, but almost they take 1.5 years. And later on they came and submitted the NOC, and then they got the development permission. So remember, it is difficult to get the permission because you need to submit so many documents. This green building concept is also developing all over, and it is necessary. Nowadays, how much heat problems we are facing today. 44 degree, 45 degree, 47 degree तक भी temperature चला जाता है. So this green building concept is required nowadays. I think in Singapore particularly, they are going with this green building projects. These are some agencies, you know. This is the study part only. Yeah, it is available on the sites. I will not go in detail here. But it is necessary to go with these green building projects in India, all over India. We are facing so many problems. So many natural resources are there available with us. You can utilize it. So many energy sources are there. Solar energy you can utilize. But due to lack of knowledge, it is difficult to go with this technology. This just read this. Only one minute I will go, then I will proceed. In coastal areas, we face this problem many times. Cyclones and flooding. So it affects the real estate market naturally. Liability of environmental contamination. Contamination का भी problem बहुत बार हो जाता है. Major cities में तो ये बहुत बार हो जाता है. That in this you need to follow the guidelines given by the Environmental Protection Act 1986. environmental regulations play crucial role that we have discussed. We will not waste time in this. These geopolitical events and it matters. It indirectly matters, indirectly affect the real estate property valuations. Indirectly, not directly. Suppose in some war situation or some terrorism situation is going on, in particularly in Jammu Kashmir area. Last 5 years back almost, then Pulwama, bomb blast was there. So that means this directly not affect the real estate, but indirectly people, those who are developers, they will be precautious here. They will take care. बट इनडायरेक्टली सपोज उसका कोई रिलेशन मुंबई से नहीं है, लेकिन गवर्नमेंट तो बोलता है कि भाई आई विल बी अलर्ट हियर. सो इनडायरेक्टली सच जियोपॉलिटिकल मैटर्स मैटर हियर. दैट मीन्स देयर आर सो मेनी टेंशन. चाइना तो हमेशा आपके पास आता ही रहता है, वो लैंड पे आने की कोशिश करता है, लेकिन वी आर द इंडियंस, वी डू नॉट एंटरटेन देम. वी आवर सोल्जर्स आर वेरी गुड, दे आर फाइटिंग विद देम. सो लेकिन इसका अगर ऐसी सिचुएशन बन जाती है, कुछ हो जाता है, तो इसका टोटल मार्केट के ऊपर, जो भी रियल एस्टेट मार्केट हो या कोई अदर मार्केट हो, इसके ऊपर डायरेक्ट इफेक्ट हो जाता है. तो उसका सिचुएशन कोई प्रिडिक्ट नहीं कर सकता है ना, इसीलिए. रीड दिस. यहाँ पे मैंने दिया है, एग्जांपल दिया, इंडिया पाकिस्तान टेंशंस एट द पुलवामा अटैक. लेकिन उसका असर बहुत दिनों तक, बहुत सारे सिटी में पुलिस वाले भी अलर्ट हो गए थे. गवर्नमेंट हैज अलर्टेड एवरी सिटी, मेट्रो सिटी, छोटे वाले म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन सिटी वाले थे, उनका कोई गारंटी नहीं था, वो कुछ भी कर सकते हैं. दे आर टेररिस्ट, दे कैन डू एनीथिंग एट एनी प्लेस. सो दैट मीन्स अननेसेसरी दैट क्रिएट्स द टेंशंस, and indirectly we face some problems here. So geopolitical event refers to significant occurrence or series of occurrences that impact the political and economic relationship between countries of or regions. ये दो कंट्रीज के बीच में हो सकता है, कुछ जगह पे कुछ स्टेट्स में भी प्रॉब्लम हो जाते हैं. जैसे वाटर क्राइसिस आजकल चलते हैं, महाराष्ट्र कर्नाटक में चल रहा है, वो भी प्रॉब्लम है. वहां पे भी बहुत सारे कुछ लोकल इश्यूज जो रहते हैं. These are some geopolitical issues. Both states have some different governments are there. Both government will try to favor their people. So remember, these factors matter here. Impact तो होता ही उसका. Regional political instability, that conflicts are there, so that it will indirectly affect the property valuations. Conclusion, we are going to conclude, then we will have some, if you have any questions, then we can ask me. Understanding property valuation is a crucial, yes, it's very crucial nowadays. क्यों crucial हो गया है? Why it is become very crucial? Because so many irregularities are going on in the market. बहुत बार लोग क्या होता है कि बहुत ज्यादा लोन चाहिए उनके लिए, जो एनपीए करना चाहते इंटेंशनली, their intention is different. Valuers are very straightforward. Their intention is different, but the person who wants higher loans, they are doing something, some wrong practices. They are submitting some wrong documents in order to get higher loans, and it results that valuers are getting suffer. Those CAs, so many CAs I have observed, they just young people, they are in jail nowadays. It had happened in Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar itself. Just recently, what had happened? I will explain give one example. One of the property, suppose here, Mr. Karthikeyan, he has one plot with him, and he has not sold the property. And in the process, what happened? Some other valuer, Mr. Ravichandran was valuer there, and he had valued that property. Bank had handed over the assignment, and actually Karthikeyan has not sold the property to the third person. But still, Mr. Ravichandran has handled the case. And in the process, after 1 year, 2 years, the case has been in the matter gone with the NPS. And the person was not repaying, almost 9 crore amount was there. And the Karthikeyan was saying, and there come the role of the Karthikeyan. He said, I have not sold the property. Then how you have given loan on my property? And the Ravichandran has handled the case. He has not observed the documents. He has not seen the titles. And there the carelessness has led to the valuer, and he is facing the problem nowadays. So remember, it should not happen. That means valuer should be alert. He should observe all the papers and then proceed accordingly. By common challenges and solution, let's recap. We started identifying the common challenges in property, such as dealing with the market fluctuations. Yes, we are discussed in detail. Property conditions, what type of properties are, whether the properties are old, new, how to consider the depreciation there, whether some regulations are there, all the factors we have discussed. Different appraisal methods, why you choose particular method, whether it is related with the income or something, or whether the land properties are there, you can go for the market approach there. So, and according to the purpose, you choose the particular method here, right? This we have discussed in detail. Then by untangling complexity of property valuations, what problems valuer actual face, that practically I have told. Every valuer is facing so many problems. That indemnity currently, so many valuers are facing, so many valuers, some of my friends, they have called me and asked me, this had happened and bank is asking me to submit this indemnity bond. And I am doing the proper job. I am working and I am practicing for last 10 years here. But still, what to do then? So the only solution I will suggest here, to go for the proper valuations here. Follow the appropriate method of valuation. Go to try to collect the appropriate data and then go for the appropriate valuation recommend. And try to remember, whenever you are writing any report, remember, I have given so many valuation reports. Whenever you are writing anything in your report, write down it clearly. Suppose you have visited the site and you are not showing suppose the building was existing on the land, and still you want to lower the valuation, and in this case you are not showing that building, it will be wrong then, and later on you may face some problems. That means, what is my suggestion? Whatever you have seen, you should show in your report, write down it clearly in your report, so that you will not face problem later on then. By untangling the complexity of proper valuation, we can, second thing, decide the priority. What should be done? Which type of data I will require? So all these, so you can easily solve these common challenges here, and you can easily get the solutions here. So thank you and all the best. I have tried my best with some practical approach. So if you have any questions, then we can discuss, not questions, but we can have some discussion here. Any question from your side? So if
No, sir.
there are,
No, sir. Thank you very much. You actually explained quite clearly, and everything was mentioned in those slides itself. Thank you so much.
thank you. Kajal ma'am, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I am here, sir.
Yeah.
So, time has come to end the program. Thank you very much, sir, for a very comprehensive and very nice lecture. Very informative. And you have spoken continuously for 2 hours without a break in this summer. Thanks, hats off to your stamina. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, participants, for your participation. Please share your feedback. Thank you very much. Thank you, Madam Kajal. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.